All right. Scoot over there so you can see. Okay. Greetings, peace and blessings, family. We almost got that number of 10, but we don't want to hold anyone too long. This is unusual for us. But before we move forward, please, whomever, if they could just give a thumbs up so that we know we are audible and you can hear us. So please let us know. And then we will proceed. And of course, we will do some acknowledgments as well. Please don't hesitate to present yourself. All right. We got Jennifer. Thank you so much. I believe that's an acknowledgement. You know, you're waving, so you must have heard.
Is she new? Why don't we go?
I don't know.
Jennifer Ready.
Well, thank you for joining.
For being ready.
For being ready. For being on the live. Thank you so very much, all of you who are on this live. As I was beginning to say, this day, Wednesday, is not our typical when we do our lives. Usually it's on Sunday, but circumstances call us to change our schedule just a little bit for today. First, before we do get into it, would like to just say that we're still here. I know we hadn't been seen in a while. We said that we were going to be more consistent with our lives, and we had not made good on that. And that's,
again, y'all used to that by now.
We don't want them to get used to that. But you know, life is lifing, and what we'll share with you today, many of you may already be aware, is a part of that lifing. And yeah, Jennifer, yeah, I didn't think you were new. She's watched us several times, and I figured there was some familiarity in the name. I wasn't certain, but yes, and thank you so much. Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it. So we're here, and we wanted to come before you this evening here, like it's nighttime, almost bedtime, not quite. For me it is, but not quite. So anyway, we want to share with you, our viewers, recent event that occurred and has impacted the diaspora community here, both in Kenya and Rwanda as well. And I'll let my wife just go ahead with that. The community here has been hands on deck. And it's been a beautiful thing to see the community come together and help in this fashion. But go ahead, sweetie, please. We'll go right into it.
Okay. I'm chewing gum, and my mind is going to help me not be emotional, but it's not. Our dear friend, who is also a loyal subscriber, that's how we met him. Tony, aka Tony Africa.
Tony Africa.
What's his real last name?
Diggs.
Tony Diggs, from New York, from Atlanta. Tony has passed away. On the 27th, I think it was, we got the call on Monday, or I don't know. I'm still dealing with it, processing it. But he passed away at Aga Khan Hospital. I know a lot of you have seen his videos where he had was talking at the hospital from a long time ago. He had a heart attack here in Kenya, and that started or triggering a series of heart attacks that he's had throughout the years, or at least the last 2 years. He actually went to New York and was in the hospital there, posted a video about it, wanted to come back to Kenya, and he had a heart attack there as well. As well, he reminded me of my grandmother. My grandmother had a series of heart attacks before she finally left, and that was Tony. But Tony is the reason why we really are here
Very
in
true.
Kenya.
In Kenya, absolutely.
We just while we were in Rwanda and trying to, truck through it and make things happen, he kept saying, "You need to come see Kenya. You need to come see Kenya." And I kept thinking it was for other reasons, like stuff that we weren't even, into. But no, he just kept saying it. And it's funny because, he had that image, that bad boy image. He was 60 something years old, and he rolled up and at a restaurant in Rwanda on a motorcycle. And that's my first image seeing him on
Kind of like a
motorcycle. It's all the
Not quite a
same to me.
Either way.
But and he had this exciting energy, like he loved Africa. Loves Africa. He was a world traveler. He's been to South, East, West. He's been he just loved Africa. He's been all over Africa. He's been all over the world. He was a retired vet. And one thing that he said, is that Kenya is his favorite place in the whole world. Kenya was that place. So, excuse me. I've been waiting it out so that I can get through it. That's why it took us so long, because it was last week. But yeah, so he loved Africa. And what a lot of people don't know is he had the most generous spirit. Like whatever you need, whatever way he can help, he was that guy. He was a retired vet. So a lot of times when we had retirees coming that were retired veterans, he was the guy that we sent to so that he can help them learn how to get their benefits from the VA hospital. He talked to them about whatever hospitals he would recommend. He talked to them about healthcare. He was that guy. And then even as far as just last year, he wanted to, and I kept trying to ask him, when are you going to do it? He wanted to create a sort of like a business where he would help expats who wanted to, who had like medical emergencies. And he wanted to be able to maybe pay for their, whatever the medical emergency is, and then they would pay him back. Well, probably a little interest or something like that, but they would pay him back so that they never had to be held back from getting good medical care if they didn't have insurance. And he discovered that need because of him being in and out of the hospital. And he was wondering, Dad, as much as I go, and he had VA coverage, he can only imagine someone that was in that medical need and couldn't get the care that they needed. And I would just keep asking him, like, Dad, that is excellent. At that time, I didn't know I was going to have a medical need that took so long because we were trying to get that money. And he had actually wanted to create that as a real business, register it and everything. That was his mindset. But just so many things that he has helped people with, just for that alone, trying to figure out how people that had medical needs, and they were able to get their money back from the VA and all kinds of stuff like that he was helping them with. And when we first got here, he was like, whatever y'all need. He wanted to show us apartments. He was going to teach him how to drive here. He never took him up on it.
I wasn't studying that. I'm not trying to drive.
I wish I would have sat there and got the lesson. He was going to give us lessons, driving lessons. Man, when we were going through, I can't remember what it was when we were in Rwanda, and He was like, "Yo, I have I have the motorcycle over there,
Moped.
over there. Go get it, use it for whatever you need, you know." And we didn't take advantage of that, but that's the kind of spirit that he had. And I just can't even. He just had made so many things possible for just us alone here in Kenya. That it's kind of like it's hard for me to even get out process because he was like he was that person. He was that person. He was crazy. He was funny. Probably misunderstood.
He was a good guy.
But he was a good guy.
He was a really, really genuinely good brother.
Yeah.
And as my wife said, he very much was very instrumental in our consideration of moving here to Kenya. He didn't. It was no compulsion, but he would often, hey, y'all need to go check out Kenya. And we would come to find out, he would come to the cafe while we were in Rwanda, and then we wouldn't see him. And come to find out, oh, he's in Kenya. So he never relinquished, Kenya, because as my wife said, he loved Kenya so much, and this was his home base. And so, yes, very genuine brother. Anyone, I'm sure, can attest to that knew him. And even if you didn't know him, if you saw any picture or anything of him, it was just something there's something about this particular brother. So he just had that infectious way about him, and may Allah be pleased with him for sure.
Yeah, if you watched, I mean, if you guys have been followers for that long, when we were in Mombasa, he came on one of our lives, and we had promised that we would bring him back on, but I don't know what happened, and he didn't sit still long enough. But the last 2 months, he has been again traveling the world. He was in Zanzibar. He was in Tanzania maybe 2 months ago. Then during the holiday time, he was in Thailand, Bangkok, showing the videos of all that. So he was living his life, like having the best life. And I wanted you to share what his wife said, because he has a widower now. She is actually Kenyan, and he has 2 babies.
Yeah.
But his last days, if you can share with them what they said.
Yeah, naturally, as a community, for those that were able to, definitely wanted to go by and, not just in word express our condolences, but make ourselves present and available for whatever it is that they may need, whatever it is. Of course, first and foremost, comfort. Right. So our presence was hoping that it would signify just that, that they are not alone. We knew brother. We didn't necessarily know the wife as well, but family, if we love the brother, his family is our family. That's how we roll with that. And so anyway, I had an opportunity. We sat, myself and at this particular time, and the wife she couldn't do it. She had to fall back, but I was there representing, and then our beloved sister Sharifa was there as well. We were able to sit and just talk with her, and she shared, with me that night prior to, or that day prior to, or the day of, I should say, where no one expects that this day is the last day. No one expects that. So we carry on and we live. And that's what he was doing. It was a very joyous, where she said he was dancing with the children, just really happy, having a really good time, And then later that evening, retiring, not completely, but in the bedroom, lying down, resting. Then unfortunately,
He said they were watching YouTube.
they were watching YouTube. That's what she said. We were watching YouTube. She said that was his thing, watching YouTube. But then unfortunately, you know, that was his last moments. And, it was kind of bittersweet in the sense that, unfortunately, he's no longer with us. However, it's good to know that his final moments, he was happy. He was in good spirits, and uh, his family got to see him in that way. So yeah, bittersweet, but it's good from my vantage point that his final moments, he was in a good way in that regard. And so the family, the wife, beautiful Kenya. She's as you can imagine, is challenging for her. But she also shared with me how um, the children. Now, let me say something about that. Now, they have two children together, but she already had three children, and those were his children, according to how he took care of. He didn't not take care of them. They loved him all the same, as if he were their biological. And so there's other things that I can share about that. However, that's the gist of it, And it's a trying time. And naturally, anyone, a beloved one who's passed away, we try to prepare, but we hope that we don't have to experience, but it's inevitable. We never know when. And so was caught off guard.
Yeah.
The family was caught off guard. And there are some challenges to be able to at least get past this part here. And the community, thank God for the community, the Aspen community, at least the community that we are affiliated and associated with. No hesitation on our part to be able to avail ourselves in however we can. But we still how Minister say, Minister Sharif, it's a shortfall. We're still a shortfall.
So, but I want to talk about how we're dealing with two different cultures, right? We're dealing with American, he's an American, and she's a Kenyan. So when we're dealing with America in general, it's, quick. You have to make these things happen. You got to do this, you got to do that. This got to be done, this got to be done. Especially when you're dealing with the embassy and you're dealing with anything dealing with finances, things have to be done immediately. Okay, well, in Kenya, everything is a process. Pole. Hakuna Matata, like you got time to grieve, you got time to figure out life. That's not how it is in the States. So we literally have been, I don't know what you call it, against the gun or whatever the word is, dealing with making things happen fast. It's a little different here. And one thing I want to talk about was the experience that I had in Rwanda when my mom passed. That community didn't allow for me to do nothing. Like, we didn't have to worry about anything. We didn't even have a chance to worry about anything. I'm talking about the Rwandese people.
Yeah, the
Rwandan people. They took care of everything.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt, I don't know. Afterwards, I felt like, wow, that was so beautiful. Like, that made her passing such a blessing because it was her time. And it didn't hurt as much. Well, it's a little different here because here we're supposed to take care of that. We're supposed to handle that, I guess, because if things weren't put in place, now the community, our repack community has to come together and make those things happen, which is not a problem. It's not a problem at all. We were able to send food over there. Of course, like he said, our people have been going over there, checking on her, to bringing her food. The sister and brother, they went over there and make sure she had cooked food. My husband and Sharifa went over there, and we just got a list of about 50 things on that list that they needed. And our community went ahead and took care of all of that. And some. We took care of all of that and some. So now we're trying to figure out, we finally come to the burial situation, and it's not happening. And we need to actually have him cremated. And that's an expense, and it's not a big expense. It's like 100,000 shilling, which is about $775 that we are literally trying to come together now, and so that he can get this taken care of like tomorrow. And that's the issue that we're coming across now, is getting the money for the funeral. Not even the funeral, just the cremation alone.
Right.
I don't know if they're going to, I don't know anything else about the celebration of life. If they're going to do that, if that's something we have to do, I don't know.
No.
But right now we're trying to get the wife assistance to go ahead and cremate her husband.
Yeah. And as my wife said, we're trying as best we can to help alleviate some of this burden off of her. But she's doing a lot by herself.
She's just trying to comprehend and understand, because it's a lot. It's a lot where, for dealing with someone in the U.S., everything is documentation. Right. Everything is a process. Here, it's kind of like it floats. But there, everything has to be done on a timely basis. So I want to get into, I had wrote down some things that I want to talk to our people about, because a lot of them they want to come over here, they want to move here, or they want to move abroad. They just want to get out of the U.S. And there's some steps that need to be taken. But before that happens, if you want to, I know my legs, I'm shaking, I'm nervous. If you can put the MPESA number up for the wife, that will help with all the other expenses that's happening. But
I don't know the number.
I thought I gave it to you. I sent it to your phone.
It's not the right phone. I will get it to you.
Okay, well.
Go ahead. Excuse me for one moment.
Okay, so I want to talk about 10 important things that we really, 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 as a Black community, must talk about and need to know before you relocate. And even especially if you're a retiree, if you're, a little up in age, 50, 60 years old, these are things that are so important to have done before you actually leave the States. One thing is that I come across, and I talk about this in our consultations, is to make sure that you do a living will. And I know we talked about it before, but it's so important, because if you have grown children, a lot of times they don't even know what you want to do when that time comes. Some will say, mom said, we had a situation one time with my uncle, and we were saying he wants to be buried as a Muslim. Mm-hmm. The other side of the family said, no, but he wants to be buried as a Christian. I mean, it was crazy. And these were all their children, and they didn't even know. They didn't even know. And these are things that we must know. We must know to do a living will, especially if you have grown children. What are your last wishes? And have it in writing. Do a Google Drive, make it live, have a discussion about it. But make sure that they understand you want to be buried in Africa. if that's where you're going, and these might be your last days. You want to be buried in Africa. We had an issue where my mom always told me that she wanted to be cremated and her ashes put in the Indian Ocean. But the ashes part, that part was new, but she wanted to be cremated. My brother never knew this. He never knew this. So, however, he knew I'm gonna do right by my mom. That wasn't the main issue, but that's just because it's just me and him. It's just two children. Imagine people that have multiple children and nobody knows what your wishes are. Nobody knows if your mom wants to live or get buried in Africa. They might want to be trying to send your body back to the States, and that might not be her wishes. You might want to be cremated, and your siblings be like, "Oh heck no! We're going to have a funeral. I want you in a coffin." That needs to be verbally discussed and written down. Yes, but it needs to be explained so that there's no ill feelings. We need to have that conversation, and those are hard conversations that you need to have, but you have to have it done. So if you're trying to relocate, let's have that done. Update your policies. You might be divorced. You might have been married 20, 30 years. You might be divorced and come to Africa, and now you're remarried. Where do you think do you remember what dependents you had on your policies? If you have new children, is your children listed as a dependent on the policy? Do you have that clearly written out on the policies? And I'm talking about your life insurance policies. I remember even for myself, and I'm in the States, when my father passed away, he just got married maybe 2 years prior before he passed away. And he had his wife as the main dependent, of course, but his children, he has in a note that the wife will disperse the money.
Disseminate yeah.
Do you think that happened?
Mm.
No, that did not happen. His children got nothing. I'm not going to get mad about it, but his children got nothing. His grandchildren didn't get anything. And he had a nice, healthy policy. So please make sure that your policies are clear and able to be understood no matter who picks it up. It's clear. Everything is documented clearly. You want this going here. Your grandchild got this. Your whoever got that. Make sure it's clear and update it. I know, and some people update their policies often. Maybe you want to increase it because you're going overseas. My mom had made some changes on hers probably 6 months before she passed away. It's mind-blowing. Anyway, but those things need to be, make sure that those things happen. Make sure someone knows where to find the hard copy of your policies. Because what happens is everything is on our tablets, on our phones. When you pass away, no one's allowed in there. It's locked up. You have to go to maybe whoever and try to show death certificates and
for them to give you permission. You have to permission. Show a death certificate and something else. I can't remember.
A marriage license showing that you're the wife or you're the husband. Listen, don't make things so darn complicated. Make sure someone knows where to find the hard copy of your policies. And then send a soft copy when you do your living will, send a soft copy to the family or to someone. That's the next point, to have that point of contact, that emergency POA. It could be the oldest child or whoever is responsible. Send them send them a copy of your policy. So if anything happens to you, they know what to do. Also, if you have medical issues and you know it already, what's the word?
Presuppose.
no pre something reoccurring issues, have your medical plan in place. Are you doing a DNR? Are you older and you're tired of struggling with whatever you're going through?
Pre-existing. Thank
Pre-existing,
you.
yes.
Thank you, Sister.
Sharuf was on.
Thank you, Grapple.
My assistant helps. She on live and she's still helping. But please, oh, that, I shouldn't have read that text. It irked me. But make sure that if maybe you need a DNR, you don't want to resuscitate anymore, or maybe you've had heart issues, or maybe you got a tongue ring and you can't have that. I'm sorry, this is really emotional for me. I'm like, my words is all over the place.
Well,
just have your medical plan in place.
Just have your ducks in a row.
Yeah,
have your ducks in a row.
Your emergency contact person. Who do you want called if something happened to you over there? And who should someone call if you're going missing or something happened to you over here? You want to make sure you have a person in place. Like I know Tony's wife, he told her if anything ever happened to him, go see brother John. Go talk to him. Go to him. He made sure that she had someone
to go to
in the community,
right,
that would be able to help her go to X, Y, and Z.
And really quickly, shout out to Brother John and his beloved wife, Sister Alberta. I don't mean to put them on the spot, but thank God for them. Thank God for them. As my wife was saying, that they got the call, the information, and they responded and have continued to respond to this very point. And it's not an easy thing. But we are grateful for them.
Yeah.
Very grateful for them. And they truly are a blessing. So I had to make acknowledgement of them for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the last point was to just put someone over your affairs in the States. Someone fair, someone that knows your whole being of what you truly desire, that they will make sure that that's going to be implemented. Put that person in place before you leave. That living will should be in their hands. Any of the of your life, any of your policies should be in their hands. Those things should be with somebody that can easily say, okay, this happened, boom, this is what we got to do. We know the whole plan. We know the whole layout. And for me, I just really feel like that's so important. Those things made life so much easier. Just speaking about my own personal journey when my mom passed away, it was because of her making sure that she had those things in place that we were able to come to Kenya. And we were able to have a smooth transition. We were able to have a homecoming for her without any problems, any issues. It was the most beautiful experience, and it's the worst experience of my life. But it was the most beautiful experience that I can ever wish for. So I'm really trying to make sure that this sister had that kind of experience with our community. And you talk.
Yeah, it's hard, but these are the, and as I, mentioned in the description, we talk about the joys of relocating, coming to the mother continent, starting afresh, starting anew. And, it's joyous, it's celebratory. And we get this opportunity, and we come across this newfound way of living, and it's easy to, I guess, get away from, okay, still got to operate and do these things as we were in my niece's trying to and wherever we're from. And so, I was always taught that death is for the living, for the death is at rest. The death is at peace, or the dead is at peace, and the lesson is for the living. It is a reminder to us. And so, even though that individual who we were connected with or connected to is no longer physically with us, he or she leaves behind something that we could move forward on and with. And so, this is, in this instance, one of those things to make sure that as he lived his life, as my wife began to say, he lived it where he wanted to help others similar to his situation not have the struggles and the challenges, right? So we will want to, as an extension of himself, his wife, and his family, not to have those challenges and those challenges. And they're there, but we are, we're step as a community step into the plate, but we're reaching out to the broader community, the community at large, to see when and how can also put the hand on the plow. So really, we didn't want to, make this long. We don't want to belabor it.
Yeah.
But the information, sweetie, you gave
Did you
me,
send it?
It's not the M-Pesa number.
That's her phone number.
It's not the M-Pesa number. That's a U.S. number.
Oh, jeez.
So I know someone had
Uh-huh.
had put it up. How can we want to get you if you're in Kenya? See, that's the thing. If you're in Kenya, we can give you the M-Pesa number. But I can probably give this number, because if you're in the States, this is a U.S. number, but you can call directly. Actually, you can text directly this number. But the M-Pesa number will allow you to send your donation directly to her, directly, and she will receive it. For the U.S. number,
Just send it to Mama Pesta, because what we're doing tomorrow, we're going to be calling the funeral parlor and sending it directly to the funeral parlor. And that number is,
hold on. All right.
yeah, it's all up there.
No, that's not it.
It is. You
It's
just
right here.
It also the Zelle. You had the whole thing up there.
Oh, you want the Zelle also?
Yeah, for those who is overseas or in the States.
Okay. Give me 1 second, family. Let me get this. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's not your number. That's my number. So here's the M-Pesa, and then I'll put another banner up there for
Just let's do it. We'll send it.
for the Zelle. Okay. And then, but continue, please, with them.
Yeah. So, if we're doing a celebration of life, we will go ahead and send that out there as well, so that you guys can be a part of it. But Tony has grown children in the States, and he has 2 toddlers.
No, he has 1 toddler.
The 4-year-old is still a toddler.
I think he's older than 4.
I don't even think he's 4, but
Yeah, he was
4
in school.
and 2, right? Or 4 and 1.
He's like, 1. The youngest one is young.
Yeah.
1.
That man was active. 62, 63. He was active. he was living his best life.
Yes, he leaves behind beautiful children.
Yeah. So he just sent me pictures, I want to say maybe 6 months ago, of the new baby. He was excited. He was excited with those. Okay.
I'm trying to get this. Okay, and then there's the Zelle.
Yes. So we're almost we're just collecting as much as we can, trying to meet that 100,000 shilling, which is 775 mark. And then of course, whatever we can do for the family, she needs everything. The paperwork, everything that we just talked about, nothing was in place. Everything is kind of, all over. We trying to get her some benefits. It's just weird. It's hard because it's a different culture. She doesn't understand what the heck we got going on in the States. All our processes, she don't understand those things. So we literally have to go step by step with her, trying to help her, trying to just figure it all out. Fortunately, I've been there, so I do understand some things. But again, the Rondis took over everything, so I don't even know. I had to ask him,
Yeah,
did this happen? Did that happen?
right. I had to go, with the, I'm gonna tell you something. This is one of the beautiful things about, the African culture and in certain places. Rwanda, one of them, in that I think we shared this once before, but the way that the community uh, comes together when someone has passed away is remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable. The announcement is made throughout the village. Not
With a scream, with
well,
they call it the wailing.
Yeah.
They start the wailing.
not that part, but that part, yeah, that's there. But I mean, everyone is alerted. Everyone
Oh
is made
yeah.
aware of um, this person at this particular house within this village or community has passed away, and the community, the way it was told to us culturally, um, it is highly offensive if you don't go and sit with that family, whether you knew them or not, whether you knew this family or not. And we had people sitting in our house all day we had never seen before. We didn't know who they were, but they were there. And they didn't say a word, but if something that was of need that we needed, they come, they bring. They don't want the family to have to worry about anything. No food, if they need comfort, whatever they need, that's what they're there for. And it was very beautiful. And so, as having to go handle a lot of the technical things, they carried me. They carried me through so that I could, do that while my wife could just have that the moment that she needed. So it was it was impressive. And
You know what? That taught me the value of community.
Community, exactly. That's what I was
That
gonna
taught
say.
me that because we thought we had it, and
They showed us now.
it showed us like this is a real community.
Right.
And so what we're trying to build over here with the expats alone is a real community so that we can be there for each other. And so far, it's been amazing because we've been doing that. Yeah. And Tony has said so many times he is so proud of what we've been doing and how we've been building the community. He always says that. If you look on any of the comments that he made, and he was one of our top commenter. I looked it up. One of our top commenters, besides PP Bob, is Tony. And Tony would come weeks later and make sure that he would post on there, this was insightful. I'm so proud of you guys, blah, blah, blah. And I was doing something. What was I doing? Somebody asked, someone asked a question.
Were you in the comments? Go to the comments. What's the question? Okay.
Please post Tony's pictures. Some of us don't know him. I wanted to post his picture, but what's this? He says
no, that's not. That's something totally different. So we kind of downgraded on our services, so we couldn't.
We're gonna post it on the ARS channel.
Yeah. No, we'll post it on the residential
tours.
Yeah,
we're gonna do it.
We'll put it in the community section of it so that you can see our and your beloved brother. So very good question.
Yeah, on YouTube, Tony Africa on YouTube.
Yeah. You can even go right. He did have a YouTube channel, so you can go there. Tony, let me put it up here really quickly. Tony Africa. Just put in Tony Africa on YouTube.
Yeah. In the Mapesa, this person's asking so they can help.
All right, so let me put that back up there. Let me see. I'm so sorry. I'm very slow. I'm very slow with this.
As you can see, Lord have mercy.
We need a production manager.
But we just getting old. We used to have this thing together.
But we hadn't been on here enough.
If you could send whatever you want to send right now, we can give shout outs. Everybody's on the phone. If you're going to make them a Mapesa payment, or am I saying it wrong?
Yes.
Almost 3 years here. I can't say it for nothing.
Listen, my wife is known to be the butcher of words.
only Mapesa.
That ain't true. Not true.
And Rhonda, they call it the Momo. I was good with the Momo. But why we have to change it?
Because we're not here.
It's a Momo. Send it to the Momo.
No.
0757-593-804. The name is going to come up as Adila. And this is going to be sent directly to the funeral home once we reach that mark. So, and I'm hoping that will happen by tomorrow, because he's been there for about a week. They're charging us every day, or charging her every day. No, they're charging us every day that he is sitting there at the mortuary.
So this just came to my mind. This was what I would like to do. In addition, I know everyone is not in a position. I know, and I know everyone's not in a position to be able to give. But I think everyone is in a position to extend themselves in the way of support and comfort. If we could even put both her local number, her name, as well as the number in the States where they can reach out to her.
That might be too much.
Why would it be too much? You're going to give her the number anyway if they were given, so they can just say, hey.
Because she's in grieving.
That's what I'm saying.
She might not want, well,
they
for me.
Send a text. If you want, you don't have to. If you want to express directly your condolences via text, if you want to, I think that would be perfectly.
Just put a message in there that you want her actual contacts.
Right.
Someone asked it's dropping off food. Okay. What Sharifa just said.
It's right there.
Oh, someone asked about dropping off food supplies. Yeah, I thought I responded to him that I told him to call my number so that I can give them the address or have them sent it here. So if you
this person in Kenya?
Yeah, it says that they have a farm.
Let me go.
They want to drop off farm supplies.
Hold on. Oh Lord.
Lord, yeah, we ain't been on this thing in a minute. Right here. Is there a place where we can drop off? Yeah, so I was saying call me on that number and we can either give you the address.
I think he said he got that number. He got it. When you put it up there, he got it.
No, that was for another person. For the Mapesa number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all we had. We wanted to talk about that.
You're halfway off the screen. I can't see you.
Because you're making me hot.
I'm making you hot.
Mm-hmm.
How am I making you hot? You the one that moving around.
Y'all have to see us fussing before we leave. You just have to. Thank you. We'll get in touch. All right. Don, thank you. And thank
everyone.
Anyone who's going to send a donation, a prayer, a concern. We just thank you so much. We also have, we have sent it out to the community. So we're going to make sure he gets taken care of by tomorrow. One way or another, we're going to make sure that this happens.
Yeah, that's our brother. And his family we hold dearly. So Thank you so much, family. Very, very, very much. Uh-oh.
Put the Zelle number back.
All right. Before I do, put the Zelle number back really quickly. Well, hopefully quickly.
he moved poly, my man. Right there. It says Zelle.
Where?
Keep going. Right
Oh,
here.
okay. All right. All right.
We in our 50s now. When we started this journey, we was in our 40s.
I was in my
realize that?
40s. I was in my. Were
But
you in your
always-
40s?
You always been old.
Yeah, you was in your 40s too.
I was.
I know. I said yes.
So, yes.
Well,
Coming to you live from Kenya. We are still here and we have lost one of our own, and we're just trying to take care of his last rites.
yes, ma'am. All right.
So,
Well,
thank you, everyone.
thank you so much. We appreciate you taking the time out. Unusual day. Usually, as you know, it's on Sunday, but duty calls and we had to present ourselves. So God bless you. Have a good rest of your day if you are abroad, and a good evening if you are here. And don't these numbers here, the local, if you're local, you can text if you need some additional information. You can text
Text this number. That's our WhatsApp, that Zelle number.
the Zelle number. You can
Yeah.
use that as well. So, all right, family, may God bless you, and thank you so very much. All right, peace and blessings.